Tonight, a 360 look at our state's green dream. And no, we are not talking about weed. This is about electric vehicles and whether EVs are really the future.
Right now, they make up fewer than 1% of all cars sold in Colorado. And last night, we took a 360 view from the driver's seat of this surprisingly heated debate.
We asked for your feedback, and you did not disappoint. Here's Denver 7's Jennifer Kovaleski.
The response to our story has been amazing. Hundreds of you are commenting on Facebook or sending us emails with your take on electric cars. One thing is clear, you either love or hate EVs, and you aren't shy about telling us why. Mark sent us this email, writing, "I absolutely do not think our tax money should be used for electric charging stations to serve such a few people." Here's another interesting perspective from Facebook. This is Mike. He points out it might have an electric engine, but the electricity is made by coal and natural gas. Tonight, we're staying put in the 360 driver's seat, but we're taking you on a different journey. Let's talk taxes, the money used to fix the majority of our roads. More people moving to our state means more cars on the road and more wear and tear on our crumbling infrastructure.
We got a problem.
A big problem, one we all experience every time we're stuck in this mess. Rush hour traffic.
We're looking at 3 LAs between Colorado Springs and Fort Collins.
Well, the volume of cars on our roads keeps growing. The money used to fix problems they cause, like potholes, is stuck and idle. Electric cars don't idle, but they're at the center of this funding problem.
They're putting wear and tear on our system, but they are paying literally $0 when it comes to the gas tax.
You heard her right. Amy Ford with CDOT says EV owners don't have to take pit stops at the pump, and that means they aren't paying a penny in gas tax.
The gas tax is the almost only way we fund our roads.
So what does she mean by almost? Well, some road money does come from car registration, and EVs are taxed at a slightly higher rate.
Just looking at it from my own perspective, it's way short.
The 360 view from the driver's seat of an EV owner is simple. They see the need to deal with this tax loophole, but blaming them for the entire funding breakdown, not so fast.
Let's not try to hang this whole problem around the neck of EVs.
The last time the gas tax was raised was in 1991. Let's just say my hair was a lot bigger than it was today.
The heart of this story really begins more than 2 decades ago, when big hair was in and the cost of living in Colorado wasn't out of sight.
Think about 1991 and what you paid for gas, or to better yet, what you paid for your house. And you compare that now to costs today, totally different, but that gas tax has stayed the same.
Since 1991, the gas tax hasn't moved 1 penny at 22 cents per gallon. CDOT's 360 view is that stinks. And quite frankly, EVs and more fuel-efficient cars are adding insult to injury.
That's why today we have about $1 billion a year funding gap in transportation.
So how do we deal with this reality as a state? From CDOT's perspective, the obvious solution is killing the gas tax and replacing it with a new system where drivers are taxed on the number of miles they drive. But that opens up a whole different can of worms. CDOT would either track your mileage through technology, something that will drive privacy advocates nuts, or they could rely on you to send them a photo of your odometer every month.
I think it's fair, but I don't like it because I'm saving money.
And you can't really blame EV owners for taking the tax break. I mean, it's how the system's set up.
For us, though, to make any of those changes, our legislature would make that change.
This is where things get even more complicated. For decades, there hasn't been the political will at the state capitol to raise the gas tax. Ford says they are starting to see support for the road usage fee, but not for all drivers.
If we looked at a road usage charge for people who had electric vehicles, they actually think that that's something that they could support. So it may go in that direction here in the future.
And here's why. A recent CDOT pilot study looking at this pay-per-mile idea found a situational irony. If we nix the gas tax in favor of pay-per-mile for everyone, yes, Prius owners would pay more, and some argue their fair share. But gas guzzlers like Ford F-150s are so fuel inefficient, they would actually pay less per mile in taxes than they currently do at the pump with the gas tax. That's because they have to fill up a heck of a lot more than a Prius to go the same distance.
How do you reconcile that? It's not fair, a lot of people will argue.
You can't reward gas guzzlers at the expense of EV owners, right?
Electric vehicle drivers will argue, and fairly so, that they have a benefit to the environment and the like by using their vehicle. And they do, but that doesn't negate the wear and tear that they still have on the road.
Which is why for now this 360 view is puzzling. One thing is clear though. If the future really is electric, lawmakers are going to have to do something. The question is how soon.
We recognize that we have a funding system that is going to starve our roadways.
Jennifer Kovaleski, Denver 7.
Very thorough look. And we were very impressed by how much you had to say about electric cars. So now, let us hear from you about the gas tax.
And you can email us anytime at 360@kmgh.com. And yes, we do read all of your comments on our Facebook and Twitter accounts.